This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing?
Tom, if I'm being honest, doing all right, but I'm feeling a little bit like a rube.
In what way?
I got taken advantage of.
Oh, meme coins? Have you been buying meme coins?
Yeah, but so far so good on that front.
So far, that's made you a millionaire.
Yeah,
many times over.
No complaints about the meme coins.
Yeah.
I've been able to get in at the perfect time and get out at the perfect time.
So getting in before everybody else has access and then getting out when everybody else is buying them.
Exactly.
That's the best time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm a real, they don't call me the meme lord for nothing.
The meme lord?
Yeah.
I thought at first you said the mean lord. It's like the devil?
Mean lord. The Lord can be mean, as we'll see, Tom.
That's true. Yeah, the Lord
And so
taketh and the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Yeah. And also, you never know
That's
what this
mean
guy's going
sometimes.
to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Old Testament God, he's always smiting people.
And he's just, doing things to be like, hey,
yeah.
it's a test.
Test
your
this.
loyalty. Yeah.
Oh, my God, you were going to do it?
Whoa.
Oh, man, that's so messed up. You were going to cut your son in half?
I'd like to be God.
Wow.
Because, God, as you understand it, does God have responsibilities?
Yeah, he's got all the responsibilities.
What does he have to do?
He's got to keep the trains on time.
No, they have the engineers and the conductors
I
for
don't
that.
know. He's making everything. Or, I don't know, he made everything and now he's just sitting back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, he had 6 killer days.
Yeah, very busy
I'll
days.
never take that away from him.
Yeah.
But now it's been, I don't know, thousands of years.
Yeah. I think even more than that.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, depending on how old the
Yeah.
Earth is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. It would be nice. I feel like if 3 o'clock p.m. comes around, he can take a nap if he feels like it.
Yeah, I guess.
And not
I don't
feel
think
like a
he
dick about
exists.
it.
I don't think time exists in the same way.
What are
I
you
think
talking about?
he transcends time. He can. Oh, this should be our 420 episode.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out God.
No, Tom, I got ripped off. I got taken taken for a ride by a tech company.
Oh, okay. Was it like Uber or Lyft?
It was actually Lyft, but I got taken for a ride twice in a row, and only
and
one of them was positive.
One of the rides you didn't want.
Yeah, Tom, does this ever happen to you? I think this happens to me pretty frequently with tech companies, or with any kind of company nowadays.
Yeah, every company's a tech. Every company beyond a certain size nowadays is in some ways a tech company.
And they do shit like this, and you're just I don't know. It enrages me for 5 minutes, and then I'm just yeah, but what are you gonna do? So I went to call a Lyft last night.
Yeah.
We were all out. We had a boys' night.
We had a boys'
drinking.
night. All the boys hung out.
And I was calling a Lyft to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your Lyft is going to be here in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You can upgrade for $2.
Yeah.
And your Lyft will come in 1 minute. We'll get there's another one that's closer. We'll get you that car.
Yeah.
So I upgraded for $2, and then the car came in 5 minutes. It didn't come in 1 minute. They said pay $5 and instead of coming in 5
minutes. We'll make
minutes.
them come right now.
Yeah. We'll get a different car that's closer.
Did it also include some kind of a car upgrade?
No.
Like a nicer car?
No, but it said up for $2 upgrade and your driver will arrive in 1 minute. It was there's a closer car available.
Yeah.
You need to upgrade for it. And they just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I just paid them $2, and it's $2. But how many people did they pull that scam on?
Because I was
last
gonna
night?
say, I'm sure if you pulled up the chat thing and waited, you would get somebody to refund those $2. But you're gonna spend 20 minutes getting $2 back, and
and it's just priced right where it's $2 to save me 4 minutes. if I didn't really have to take a dump real bad, like I wouldn't have pressed that button. But is there some way they can tell that too, Tom?
If you have to take a dump or not?
Yeah.
I think if you had the Apple Watch, they could tell.
Yeah,
there's a way to tell.
Oh, yeah.
Through the various sensors. And,
I wonder how your physiology is affected by like really needing to take it. Like, can they glean that from your wrist in some way?
I feel like, the same way like a lie detector machine works.
They're detecting like more brown in your blood.
That's not how pooping works. No, I think they would just like, put sensors on you and it'd be like, oh, he's like a little tense, like blood pressure and heart rate are going up a little bit. And I mean, if they could...
Either he's having a medical episode or he's really just clenching his butt real
That's
real
one
tight.
of those things where I think like AI would be useful, that you could give it like a million cases where it's somebody having to poop and then a million cases of somebody having a medical episode. And you go, all right, I'm going to train on these and then learn,
right?
Through the intangibles. So you can accurately tell me... Wait, what would the point of this be? Oh, to tell Uber if you really have to poop?
Yeah, so they can upcharge you to get you home faster and then not deliver on it. But that's a dangerous game for Uber and Lyft to be playing.
Yeah.
Because,
well, I was going to say, you're
then,
never going to use it again now because you think it's bullshit.
I used it to get here.
Tim.
What am I going to do? Walk?
What do you mean? No, I mean like use the fast button.
Yeah, but what if it works one time?
I was saying, like, using Lyft to get here, that's fine. But buying if you bought the $2 thing again, then...
Yeah, that's on me. Hey, it's the old fool me
unless you do it enough times that it does become worth your while to reach out to them. Maybe that's, you do it like 20 more times. Now it's like, well, $40. I want $40 back. Right. And then have them just give it all back at once.
Yeah, every single one. But just the brazenness, I don't know. I think it's, I respect it on some level.
Yeah. Yeah, they should just...
But just feel, it's so tangible. It's like,
how hard...
For this, you'll get this. Mm-hmm. I press the button, and immediately they were just like, actually, no.
Well, and I can see, unforeseen circumstances happen, but how hard would it be for them to have the app go, oh, this is more than 2 minutes, give them that money back?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. They don't even charge you till the end, so they could very easily do that.
They charge you up front.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh, yeah, I guess they do. Because, it's like already set.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah.
Oh, they should charge you at the end.
They should.
That way you can run out, too.
Yeah. If Mr. Lyft is listening, you got a lot of feedback for you.
Yeah. Tim, should we get into the topic this week?
Yeah, sure.
Unless you have more complaints.
I do have more complaints. Oh no, I have something that brings me joy, but I'm gonna save it for the Patreon episode.
Wow, gatekeeping joy.
Yeah,
putting a price tag on joy, putting joy behind the paywall.
Well, this was the Lyft thing was a public service.
Oh, okay.
Right?
You letting telling everyone. Oh, yeah, that's a ripoff. Yeah,
yeah. It might be libelous, right? Like, but I don't know.
I don't think so. You explained it.
It's what happened.
Yeah, both lawyers. We both know how to CYA.
Yeah, cover your applesauce.
Tim, this week, sad week. The Pope died.
The cool Pope died.
The cool Pope died.
Yeah.
In our lifetimes, Tim, we've had John Paul II.
Who was just like...
He was just the Pope.
The Pope, yeah. As far as I'm concerned.
Then we had Benedict, and he was the mean Pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a Hitler Youth Pope.
Yeah, and he was so mean that he's like, look, I'm too mean to be the Pope.
Yeah.
And, like, that's a pretty tall order, too, to be too mean to be the Pope.
Yeah, there have been a lot of mean popes.
Yeah.
And then we got Francis, who is Argentinian?
Believe so.
Yeah, and by all accounts, a very nice guy.
Yeah.
A good pope, like a pope that preached kindness and
which like you'd think would come with the territory,
would come
but
with the
you'd
job,
be surprised.
No, sometimes being the Pope, most of your job is like going around telling everybody what they're doing wrong. Not just wrong, wrong to the point where you're going to go to hell.
Or telling people they're not being hateful enough.
That they should, tell other, make sure the people that we think are going to hell know it, that they hear it at every opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And Francis wasn't like that.
No, I mean, I don't know. I know like two things. I know like the cool things that he did because like it made headlines on the, like news sources that I read where it's like, hey, Pope did something not shitty.
Yeah. I think judging by how many, like, very hardcore Catholics didn't like him. Mm-hmm. that's like a pretty good indication.
The ones that are like we need to bring back Latin Mass and stuff, right? Like those guys.
And like that the Catholic Church is way too liberal at this point, and it needs to go back a few decades. Right. As church membership is falling every year, they're like, nah, we should really double down.
We should keep moving around those child molester priests.
Bring them back. Stop moving them around. Just keep them where they are, no matter what they do.
Tell people they still have to come.
Yeah. So by all accounts, he wasn't like that.
Yeah.
But
I don't know by all accounts. Again, like
by most accounts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about that Pope.
He was a devout Catholic. It says here.
Wow, he was a bouncer.
Was he a bouncer at some point in his past?
Yeah.
Wow. Imagine.
And to the day he died.
I didn't know that. Man, that must, like, whenever I hear...
Bounced right off the mortal coil.
Whenever, hey, maybe he's going to relieve St. Peter at the pearly gates for a little bit.
Can you imagine the jam sessions? Hey, congratulations to Pope Francis finally joined the 27 Club up there jamming with
Tim
Hendrix.
He was very old. I think he was 88. By all accounts, killed by meeting J.D. Vance, unfortunately. What else about this guy? I don't know that much about him either, I'm realizing. I looked up a lot of stuff about popes.
Yeah, this isn't about this specific pope.
Right.
And I think we want to be respectful. A man died. Is he a man? Do we think of the pope as a man? Or does he become some sort of like other being once he becomes the pope?
I think just by being the pope, that's what is,
But
that's you're not a man anymore. You're not a god or anything, but you're the pope.
Right.
If
just a whole class unto itself.
Yeah. And I guess somebody, if you were like, hey, ask that guy, somebody'd be like, hey, that's not a guy, that's the pope.
Right.
Yeah,
but I would never say that about you. If I saw somebody be like, ask that guy, I'd be like, yeah, that's a guy.
Well, yeah, I'm not the pope. If you were like, hey, that's the pope, they'd probably throw you in.
Or if you were a lady and they said, ask that guy, I'd say, hey, that's a lady, because I'd defend your honor, Tom.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. When you were talking about the pope being a bouncer, whenever I hear about things like that, I always think about like the people that ran into him at that point. Like there has to be somebody who like got thrown out of a bar and got like punched in the face by him.
Yeah.
And that person was like, I'll never forget that asshole's face. And then that guy becomes the pope one day.
Yeah.
And probably nobody believes you when you say that guy punched me in the face.
The pope
like,
beat the shit out of me.
The pope punched you in the face? No. Not this pope. Maybe the last pope. You tell me the last pope punched you in the face.
Yeah. The last pope I feel like would have like scratched you. Like tried to scratch you till you bled,
he
right?
seemed like a real scratchy kind of guy.
Yeah, I bet he had sharp fingernails too, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that Benedict.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Tim, you're asking what's the deal with the Pope? Is he a man?
Right.
And we don't know is the answer. But I do know some other things about the Pope.
You didn't have to mention the thing that you didn't know before launching into it. We're coming out of a break.
Being honest.
Yeah, okay.
You know, who knows how long that last break was? Maybe people forgot what we were even talking about.
We kind of want them to. That's why. Well, anyway.
The Pope, Tim, is infallible. Did you know this?
Everything he says is the truth, right?
It's that he can't be wrong about anything. It's under very specific and rare conditions. And they explain when speaking ex cathedra, which means from the chair of Peter, to define a doctrine concerning faith or morals for the entire church. Catholics believe the Pope is protected by the Holy Spirit from error.
Okay.
So if he makes a Super Bowl prediction and he's wrong, that's fine. It's not
but
that
if he does it from that chair,
right? Well, if
the world, it's like it creates a paradox. And the world ends, right?
They have to go back and do the game again, and the other team has, they have to win. No, because I think he had to be like very specific at times, or at least this most recent Pope had to be very specific at times because he would talk about, openness and being more accepting. Mm-hmm. And I think he would often have to kind of be like, oh, by the way, I'm not speaking from the chair of Peter, like I'm giving my opinion.
Well, then,
I'm just
why not?
riffing here.
Speak from the chair of Peter when you're proclaiming that everybody should be kind.
Well, if it's not, if it's something he came up with, not something God told him.
He's coming up with all of it himself, Tom.
Yeah, but he doesn't think that. He thinks, I've got a connection with God, and God's telling me some stuff, and he's not, the other stuff I'm thinking up myself. Because if you say everything's coming from God, at some point it's like, geez, you ever get a chance, you ever get a word in edgewise with God about your opinion on this stuff?
I don't know if you... What is that? Like, look... This is all just like the Pope is speaking for God, right?
Yeah. That the Pope's supposed to be like chosen by God.
Does he get to actually talk to God?
I mean, I think a lot of priests will tell you that they talk to God.
Yeah, but does God talk back to any of them?
I'm sure lots of them will say that God does. I don't know if they would like specify like, oh yeah, like in Star Wars when like the hologram, when the ghosts of Obi-Wan appears, it's like that, but it's God. Like I don't think it's that.
When I was a kid, I always pictured God as like a guy in his 20s wearing a red headband.
Why?
I don't know.
That's not anywhere near what the traditional.
I know, but maybe I knew something.
No, maybe you got
know.
a glimpse of what God's really like. Yeah. And it's a guy in his 20s with the red headband.
Yeah.
Is he wearing anything?
The red headband.
Like, but otherwise fully nude.
No, why would you assume that he was fully nude?
Because I asked you if they were wearing anything else, and you said red headband.
Well, no,
what else
I
were they
didn't
wearing?
Think about it. No, I don't know.
You only saw him from the neck up.
Yeah, actually,
he was behind a teller window. I didn't get a good look at his full garb. So yeah, but I get that you don't want every word you say people to be like, oh, we have to interpret everything.
Pope.
Or be the Pope and just say, oh, by the way, like I can talk off the record.
Yeah, I'm talking shit right now. That's what he'd always say. Excuse me while I talk some shit. Hey, he'd come out on that little balcony. He'd be like, y'all up for some shit talk?
No, I think the balcony was the last place you could do that kind of thing from. I think the balcony was reserved for... The shit talk, Tim, that was reserved for the table, the table in the back of the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah.
He liked to hang out there and kind of talk shit, rib the other guys.
Mm-hmm. And like if you haven't been there, it can seem harsh.
Right. But these guys, they all love each other at the end of the day.
It's just the way it is.
It's him and a bunch of Cardinals.
And Nick DiPaolo.
The Pope is the sovereign of Vatican City.
Okay.
That makes him one of the world's few absolute monarchs and a head of state. So he has diplomatic immunity.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't be tried for anything anywhere. Yes.
I could.
What?
I could try. I could put the Pope on trial.
No church. No, not church. No court in the world, Tim, would bring him in on your behalf. Maybe if you brought him yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe he seemed to.
He caught the Pope. He must have a point.
You must have really gone to some effort to do this.
He must be doing something right. He caught him.
He also has the ability to issue Vatican passports.
Okay. This is all boring stuff. You know this, right?
No, you can't issue a Vatican passport.
You are so interested in passports and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting where what different passports allow you to do in different places around the world.
I guess.
So the Pope, presumably, if somebody was in a situation where I don't know, they couldn't get into a certain country, he could be I'll hook you up. I'll give you one of these Vatican City passports. Because I bet that'll get you in pretty much anywhere.
It's a freaking golden ticket.
Yeah. He has the command of his own military force. The pontifical Swiss Guard, known for its historical uniforms and role in protecting the Pope.
Do they have weapons?
I believe so.
Okay.
It's basically like the Secret Service, but for the Pope.
Okay. Well, that I guess that makes sense.
But I guess,
so is this a lot of administrative stuff that he has to do all
the time? He has to do tons of administrative stuff. Because that's the thing. You got to remember that the Vatican's considered its own nation. And he's considered the head of that. It's a small nation.
Right.
But they've still got a lot of, that's why it's not just he gives the masses and he's here's what God just told me. It's like being president or anything. He's got to do
payroll for the army too.
Yeah, he's got to run an administration basically.
Yeah.
And keep all the
He's got to take all those passport photos.
He's got to take he's got to sign every passport. No, he's got to run everything. He's got to make sure no treasure hunters break into the Vatican archives.
Yeah. Is he always trying to keep that dastardly Robert Langdon?
He's got to keep guys like Robert Langdon from learning all the secrets of the Catholic Church and the truth about things.
Did you read the Da Vinci Code?
I didn't. I didn't watch the movie either.
Yeah, me neither.
I probably would like it. It sounds like a cool idea. It's what's the name of the book? Holy Blood, Holy Cross, something like that inspired that.
I don't know.
It's a nonfiction book that posited this idea, I guess, that Jesus actually had kids and here's what really happened. I think that was the inspiration for it.
Right.
That stuff's neat.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Tom Hanks running around with a mullet.
Yeah,
that's
Tom
cool.
Hanks running around. He's trying to find out. He's trying to find Jesus's great grandson or whatever.
Right.
Finding out if he has powers too. What else can the Pope do? Oh, the Pope can enter into treaties and maintain diplomatic relations independently. So that's the other thing. He doesn't really report to a government. you know? Like if he decides something that's for the Vatican, that's just it. So if he wants to...
I mean, has this power ever been used in an interesting way?
Maybe. We'll get to that part later.
Will we, though?
Maybe. Well, I have a list of like crazy Pope things. And yeah, some of those will involve his use of these.
You told me we'd be making our nominations for Pope for the conclave to consider.
We're gonna get to that, Tim. Jeez, we're not even halfway through the episode yet.
Okay, all
I gotta
right.
lay the groundwork. You don't even know what would make for a good Pope
I know,
yet.
but you're talking about like the Pope could issue passports.
Yeah, it's
and,
interesting.
To write laws for a tiny.
All right. He gets to choose a new name. How about that?
Yeah. Okay.
He holds.
What would your Pope name be?
I don't know, because I think you have to take like the name of something biblical. I don't know if it has to be a saint's name, but I think it usually is. I mean, Pope Francis took it from Saint Francis of Assisi.
I used to be able to recite the prayer of Saint Francis.
Yeah, and then what happened?
I would recite it.
You're gonna recite it?
No, I would recite it.
Yeah. No, I mean, what happened? How come you can't do it anymore?
Because I'm out of practice.
All right. Well, we'll take a break. You can practice a little bit, and we'll come back, and you can do it.
Okay.
He has supreme authority within the church. Supreme, full, immediate, and universal power within the Catholic Church. There is no higher human authority within the church structure. His decisions on governance and doctrine
we know.
are final. All right.
He's the main guy in the Catholic Church, Tom.
His decisions are final.
Nominate
He has a special ring. He has a fisherman's ring. Do you know about this?
No.
It is a unique ring known as the Ring of the Fisherman, referencing Peter the Apostle, who was a fisherman. And it's used to seal his official documents, and it's unique to each pope. So he's got a ring with a seal, and that's how you know it came from the Pope, because he pressed his ring into it. And when they die, they destroy the ring, so nobody can go around, making forgeries.
Right. So it's an actual magic ring. Is what?
No, it's just it's got the official seal, so it's from the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how often he's using that. Like, is on every correspondence he has to, smash this ring into like a little thing of wax? Does he have somebody else to handle the wax? Is that too dangerous for the Pope to handle? Is like another
the Pope
guy
can handle wax.
I think another guy probably comes in and he's like, Father, here, I'll pour the wax.
But I bet the cool Pope was like, I can do the wax, don't worry.
Even when he was on death's door, Tim,
Yeah.
that's dangerous.
He met with the world's worst man when he was knocking on death's door. It's like, I'll spend my last day doing this because somebody's got to freaking do it. This is how we felt about the wax, too. Do the wax. Somebody's got to do it. I'm not above doing the wax.
All right. Well, let me tell you what the requirements are to be the Pope.
You got to be Catholic.
You got to be Catholic. You have to be a man. You have to be male. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it. You have to baptize. Any baptized Catholic male is eligible.
Yeah, that's us, Tom.
Yeah, we've been baptized Catholic. We're eligible. We're in the mix, baby.
Yeah.
So it's not even like, you have to be an active participating. No. You have to have gone through confirmation, which we both did anyway. No, you just have to be baptized. It's the lowest.
Yeah.
And any bum can come in and get baptized.
Any Catholic can be the Pope,
So,
as long as you're a man.
Yeah, well, heed this, because they usually they have the conclave, which is when they pick the new Pope. 15 to 20 days after the death or resignation of a pope. Mm-hmm. So you still got time if you are not Catholic, but you want to be the Pope, or you at least want to throw your hat in the ring.
Yeah.
And imagine you threw your hat in the ring. It's one of those big Pope hats.
I think that
you'd have trouble getting it in the ring.
You'd have trouble getting it in the ring, but if you could get it in the ring, I think it would really impress the conclave.
Yeah, it'd be like pulling the sword from the stone, kind of.
He's like, part of it would be like when they're discussing, they'd be like, well, he's already got the hat.
Yeah, and look how good he is with it. He got right in the ring first try.
The Pope doesn't often have to throw his hat, though, right?
No, not after he becomes Pope. When he graduates from Pope school, traditionally he does. So any baptized Catholic male is eligible, though only cardinals have been selected since 1378.
Yeah, but that's all right. We're going to break the mold.
Yeah,
here.
Nothing can last forever.
To me, that's actually kind of fucked up when you think about it.
What? That only cardinals?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're eligible. It's just, who picks them? The Cardinals.
Wait, who are we talking about? Like,
not the baseball team.
Okay,
not the St. Louis Cardinals.
All right.
Oh, the Cardinals from around the world, because they're the ones who gather to elect the Pope. And I guess nobody ever is like, oh.
Hey, you guys ever talk to anybody else?
I mean, probably not really. So, yeah, they all just...
and when they are, they're just chastising people.
Yeah. So I have some names of people that you would, that maybe they're not talking about, but are perfectly eligible to be Pope.
I got one that I think they probably are talking about.
Okay, what's your one?
And is definitely eligible.
Who?
You want to say it with me?
Sure.
One,
two, three.
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a famous Catholic. He's got the app.
Yeah.
The Catholic prayer app and everything.
Yeah. And he's he's got an attitude.
He's got an attitude. He's, aging out of like the only roles he can do. Mm-hmm. Like action guy roles. He's getting up there now.
Yeah.
But he could be an action pope, compared to the other popes. He would be still a very rough and tumble guy.
Yeah, he'd handle the wax himself. No
He'd
problem.
Handle the wax himself.
He'd be like, if I was there, the thing with the wax would have gone down a lot different.
He could get one of those big, stunt guy cushions below the balcony. He can be like, watch this. He does a flip off it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
really
good. Wow, the crowds at Vatican City.
Nobody's ever seen that at the Vatican.
Who else you got on your list?
Well, I thought this was going to be your topic, Mel Gibson.
Well, no, I'm not really a Mel Gibson fan, Tom. He's not extreme enough for me.
That is a good example, though, of like he goes to like Latin mass.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he thinks like, bring that back, make church less accessible.
Yeah.
I did look up Tim. Will Smith was not baptized Catholic. He's not. And I also looked up Sully is a Methodist.
Oh, Captain Sully, Sullenberger.
We said we weren't going to say that name on the podcast.
You know who was a baptized Catholic though?
Who?
George Clooney. And he's looking kind of Pope-like these days. I sent you a picture of George Clooney where he looks like an old man, right?
Well, it's such a weird look because he's looked the same. He's looked good for such a long time. And I guess it must be like for a new movie he's doing or something.
Well, he's currently on Broadway doing Good Night and Good Luck as Edward R. Murrow. But is Edward R. Murrow a guy that got his blood sucked out by a vampire?
Well,
is that in the story of Edward R. Murrow?
The thing is, you don't see George Clooney as much recently. So, yes, he's aged like anybody else. But he shaved his beard and then his hair is dyed black, presumably for this role. Mm-hmm. And it just looks like very unnatural. We've been used to handsome silver fox George Clooney for so long that he just looks weird with this, way too dark to be natural hair and no beard anymore.
Yeah. I got a question. Why do we call him George and not Amal's husband? Huh?
What?
Remember when they got married? Everybody was all upset. It was like, oh, why are the headlines George Clooney gets married? Why isn't it his wife's name gets married because she's like an accomplished, like she's way more accomplished, right? She's like a human rights lawyer or something, right? Like it's like because nobody knows who that lady is outside of like human rights. Like she's not in movies. She's not a movie star.
Yeah, and like there are plenty of like very smart people that do good things that get married all the time, and it's not put on the tabloids.
Yeah. George Clooney gets married. I thought they
well, that's
never
the other
settled
thing.
down.
I mean, did all of her friends say she's never going to get married? She's going to be a lifelong bachelor. Nobody can tie her down. No, but they said it about Clooney.
And all the headlines basically said "woman tames Clooney," which I think is it's pretty positive for her.
Yeah. Hey, you're the one that finally tamed this mad dog of a man.
Yeah. Real freaking, is he? Yeah. I bet he's, I don't want to speculate on their sex life.
What were you going to speculate?
All right. I don't want to jeopardize him becoming the Pope.
So, yeah. Stephen Colbert's Catholic.
Yeah. Is the world ready for a funny Pope?
A funny Pope. Martin Sheen's Catholic.
He's a good president.
Yeah, probably be a good pope, and he's the right age, impossibly old.
It's a shame it can't be a lady though.
Yeah,
because I think Selena Gomez is really having a moment.
And she's Catholic.
And it would be nice to have a beautiful pope, wouldn't it?
It would be nice to have a beautiful pope. I think that's.
I want a pope that I can have put a picture up of a poster in my garage.
Yeah, what's so wrong about that?
Yeah, it's just that would get me back to church.
Yeah. Well, she's not eligible, unfortunately. Maybe the next pope can change the rules so that within her lifetime she'll be the pope. A more recent convertee to Catholicism, Tim, Shia LaBeouf.
Ooh, the beef.
The beef is eligible to be the Pope.
Yeah, I don't think he'd want it.
Oh, I think he'd want it. He would love it. If they came to Shia LaBeouf and they were like, hey, you want to be Pope?
Yeah, I think he'd accept it, but I think within a month he'd be dead in a pool.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what the young Pope was about.
Oh, really?
The one with, what's his name? Jude Law.
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't.
And compared to Jude Law, Shia LaBeouf is even younger.
Yeah, it's true. Not nearly as handsome, though.
No.
I would say that the young Pope was the first beautiful Pope.
Tom, I can't believe you're overlooking.
I've got more names, so you don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I can't believe what number one with a bullet wasn't.
Was it Kevin James?
No.
Because Kevin James is eligible.
Yeah. The pratfalls, he could really liven up the whereas Mark Wahlberg would do a really cool he wouldn't fall off the balcony.
Yeah,
Wahlberg,
he would rappel
do
off it or something.
or do a kick flip or something. Kevin James would bumble out there and pratfall off the balcony.
It'd be fun
just to delight everybody.
It'd be fun to watch, the first few masses under Pope Kevin James, and you could tell he doesn't know what he's doing. He's bumbling through the whole thing.
King Ralph situation.
Yeah, he's pretending then we do this part, but he's relying on all the people around him to do everything.
He's got some right-hand man that's has to take him through, and he's like, oh, yes, of course, yes. Yeah,
he does one or two things wrong. Some lady in the audience gasps, and then he has to quickly recover from that.
Let's write all this down.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Tim, you're talking about a pope you could have a poster in your garage up about.
I already got posters. I got the Paul Blart posters in my garage.
Oh, man. If he came out on the Segway,
people would go nuts.
People would go nuts.
It'd get me back to church.
The Catholic recruitment numbers through the roof. And he could choose a new name, so he could be Pope Paul Blart if he wanted to.
Oh, he'd have to be.
And then that would... Oh, and if he was just in character the whole time... Imagine Paul Blart with that mustache, but he's still got the big hat on. Tim, tomorrow we got a work on the pitch for Pope Blart.
There we go.
or Paul Blart Pope? Question mark.
I like Pope Blart.
Pope Blart. It's hard to say.
And he's still a mall cop. He still works at the mall.
Pope Blart Mall cop. Who's your number one with a bullet?
No, I think yours would be the Popinator himself.
Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
I didn't know he's
Practicing Catholic.
Really? But
Yeah.
is he baptized?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you said he was just practicing.
No, like not even...
Practice is one thing, but are you actually going to do it?
Well, he practices what he preaches.
Oh, man, that would be awesome.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He'd inspire the world.
He would inspire the world. He'd do some big stunts. He's getting
I
up
don't know.
there.
He's done with stunts, I feel like.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Yeah.
I watched his son in that
The White
Lotus. Yeah. And his son, when his son makes certain faces, he looks just like his dad, like to the point where it looks like a weird deep fake kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, son was pretty good.
I don't think he should be allowed to be in things.
Tim, I think that's not the way Hollywood works at all. I think, in fact, he'll be in more and more things as the years go by until you're probably sick of him.
Does he have big muscles?
No, it's like kind of misleading because for somebody with the face of a Schwarzenegger, he doesn't. But then when you look at him, like, next to like other people, it's like, oh, if you saw this guy in real life, you'd be like, oh, that guy's in good shape.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be funny if Arnold Schwarzenegger's kid was just like a little porker.
Yeah, he's definitely not a little porker. He's in good shape, I would say.
Uh-huh.
But not the kind of good shape where, he took steroids like his dad.
Right. Russell Brand.
Oh, yeah,
Brand.
I forgot that he's...
I mean, I'm sure he's trying to throw his name into the ring because then he's going for that diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, he could really use that all over the world right now. Yeah, I forgot that he's a recent convert. Man, a lot of great recent converts to Catholicism, if you weren't sure about it before. Tim, here's one that I don't think would be that crazy. I think it might be nice. Gary Sinise.
Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah. Lieutenant Pope. Pope Dan.
Pope Dan. Lieutenant Dan. Wait, no, we need Pope in there.
Now, do you think he would do the full Lieutenant Dan? He would. Well, I guess Lieutenant Dan got prosthetic legs in the end, so he wouldn't be in the wheelchair anymore.
I don't think he would do that. I think you know what? I think he would actually decline
being Pope.
Yeah, because he thinks he would say my work with veterans is too important.
Could do a lot of good with being Pope too, though.
For the veterans,
yeah, for everybody.
I guess he could get the passports, from what I understand.
Exactly, Tim. What if they ask him when he goes back to the veterans group he works with, and he's already said no, and they're like, "Did you say yes? Oh man, we could finally get those passports we wanted." And he's like, "Oh no, did I make the wrong choice?"
If you're gonna go to war, do you need a passport?
I don't think so. No. What do you mean?
If you're a guy.
Yeah, you don't get a passport automatically if you're in the military, I don't think, but maybe I'm wrong.
But what I'm asking is like, because you're leaving the country.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So if you're some guy, from, I don't know, Connecticut, and you're like, I just live in Connecticut, never got a passport, but I'm going to join the armed services.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, you're going to Afghanistan. It's like, do I have to go to the passport office or?
I think they give you a military ID. I think that's
okay.
I think that's all you need.
I just don't know the logistics of this.
Yeah, I mean that's not like You think like during Vietnam, there were draft dodgers who were just like, I'd love to. I just don't have a passport.
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be and they're like, well, you better mail in the form this week. I will.
I know. I'm getting to it.
Yeah, no, I think
I gotta go to the
Walgreens.
The Walgreens photo desk was being weird. Like the guy wasn't there when he was supposed to be there.
I just got my passport renewed, and I was able to just take a picture with my phone.
Yeah. What is that about?
I don't know. And they were like, don't edit it or anything, but it has to be a pure white background. So it's like, well, I need to edit out like the door frame then. And I did edit it. And I made myself look a little handsomer in the process too.
Yeah.
Ran some smoothing filters.
Did you just do this?
Yeah.
Was it before or after you shaved your beard into just a mustache?
It was before I shaved my beard into just a mustache. Okay. Yeah, so I don't have a passport photo of me with a mustache.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I've had like IDs in the past where I've like had a funny look to me, and it's a nightmare, you know. Because then people like when I was 21 or 22. Like, I still had my 16-year-old photo on my ID, so I would constantly get, like, what? This isn't you? Yeah. It's like, no, it is. It's fine.
Shut up. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let me in the bar, you, and the guy beats the shit out of you, and then suddenly he's the Pope.
Then I find out 50 years later that guy winds up being the Pope. Man, yeah, that would be crazy. Do you have any other notable names on your list?
Not other. Mr. Hilaria Baldwin.
Oh, no. Hilaria, I believe
Hilaria.
It is. Hilaria. Yeah. That sounds like somebody who's funny.
She is kind of funny. She pretends to be Spanish.
I was looking, Tim, did you know you can bet on who the next pope is going to be?
Yeah, but what is it, a bunch of guys we've never heard of?
I mean,
how do I know he's going to win?
It's a bunch of guys you've never heard of, but that there is information about out there.
Yeah.
And they run the gamut. They got guys who are 70 years old. They got guys who are 80 years old and everything in between. But yeah. I don't really know that much about him, but there's like nobody really that.
Oh shit!
What?
You mentioned Mel Gibson, but what about Jim Caviezel?
Yeah, he's also a Catholic and played Jesus.
I think he would have the insight, like, oh, the man, you knew him as Jesus, and now he's the Pope. It's like he's got street cred.
Yeah,
already. Like, hey, I played the guy that this whole thing is based off.
You gotta convince the Cardinals.
Yeah,
that's what they say. Hey, convince the Cardinals. Don't talk to me. Convince the Cardinals.
Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith?
Was he on the Cardinals or the Reds?
I don't know, and I don't know if he was Catholic or not. Yeah, I wonder if there is, like, you've seen this movie Conclave?
No, I haven't seen the movie Conclave.
I haven't seen the movie Conclave either. Because I'm curious, like, so there was an instance, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find my notes quickly enough, where it took them like years to figure out who the new pope was going to be. Mm-hmm. So it's like all the cardinals get together. In 1271, it took over 2 years to elect. It's Pope Gregory the 10th, I guess, but it's Pope Gregory X. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If I could be Pope Tom X.
Well, they wouldn't let you be Tom.
Pope Thomas X.
Right.
And then the X is for extreme, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. Maybe just on my business card. It took over 2 years to political turmoil, so this didn't happen again. Pope Gregory X made it so that cardinals would have to stay together until a new pontiff was decided on. So I guess before it was like, we can't decide. Everybody go home. We'll figure it out later. But now they all get locked in there together until they reach, because I think they have to reach like a 2/3 majority. Yeah. The winner must receive at least 2/3 of the vote from those cardinals under the age of 80 and thus eligible to participate.
Ah.
So you have to be under 80 to vote, but you technically do not have to be under 80 to be the Pope.
Right.
Because there are some people who are 80 plus that are like in the running.
Which feels like, guys, what are we doing here?
But also it's like if somebody's the Pope for a year or two, well, whatever.
Yeah, but then they all have to go, they get locked. Like if you're
That's
going to
true.
lock me in a thing with a bunch of boring people, I'd be like, let's not do this again next year.
But maybe they like it. Maybe it's fun, you know? Like, because what other, when else do all the Cardinals have an excuse to get together, Tim?
Yeah.
So maybe, like, they just have such a fun year. One year, they're like, you know what? Everybody agree. We're all going to vote for Jerry. He's the oldest. He's on death's door. We're going to vote. Jerry, you're going to be Pope. Don't get too excited.
We expect you to be dead within 6 months.
Yeah, but you need to survive the conclave.
Right.
And then we'll all have a good excuse to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But I assume, like, it's like anything. There's, politicking and everything involved. Well, if you make me the Pope, I'll do X, Y, and Z. What?
I was just thinking of some of the things they could offer to do.
I mean, it's probably like anything else. It's money,
Yeah.
I'll send more funds to you vote for me. I'll send more funds to the area where you're a cardinal. Right. I know the last Pope neglected you. I'm not going to do that.
I'll stamp your passport twice.
I'll issue you a passport, for goodness sake. Tim, I also found I want to solve a problem. So I've got one more Pope thing to talk about. Because I looked up like a bunch of, different popes, like famous popes. Because there are popes, like there's a pope that put a corpse on trial. Mm-hmm. There's a pope.
Did they, like, was he faking it? And was the Pope like, it's my contention that this man is still alive and thus must
no,
face
it
trial.
was the
and he pricked him with a pin and he's like, yow!
No, well the thing was it was the former Pope he put on trial.
For what?
For
stinking up the joint?
I don't know.
For leaving a dump in the toilet?
He knew he was dead because he exhumed the body, put it in papal robes. The dead Pope was found guilty, had 3 fingers cut off, was stripped of his vestments, and his body was thrown into the Tiber River.
Wow. Harsh.
But I saw somebody, I think it was maybe on our Discord, said, we've had a mean Pope, we've had a cool Pope, maybe it's time for a stinker Pope.
Yeah.
Tim, there was a stinker Pope. The youngest and possibly most notorious Pope, Benedict the Ninth.
I thought it was going to be Pope Dennis the Menace.
Well, I mean, not too far off.
Dennis the First.
He became Pope at age 12.
Wow.
Some sources say he was closer to 20, but he was the youngest ever. He was so scandalous, Tim, he sold the papacy, was Pope 3 separate times, and was described by historians as a demon from hell.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's not very objective historians.
Well, they said he sold the papacy. I think he he was Pope 3 separate times. I think that was because one time he was like, "Hey, you want to be Pope? All right, $1 million, I'll make you Pope," and then that person became the Pope. Mm. That's a real stinker move.
Yeah, but I don't think Satan from hell or whatever a historian.
A demon from hell.
That doesn't seem very objective.
Well, I mean, I don't have all the info. Maybe he probably
you gotta
did
hear both sides. Is what
he
I'm
probably
saying,
did
Tom.
some bad things. You think though, like a 12-year-old, he was like, first things first, mass has got to be way shorter because a lot of this is pretty boring, guys.
Yeah,
I don't speak Latin.
I get 3 hours of TV a day.
All right, you want to solve a problem?
I guess.
Hello and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems, where we solve your problems. If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us, thecompleteguide-to-everything@gmail.com. Tim, this one, he said we can use his name or not, whichever's fun. Which would you prefer?
Is his name good?
It's Richard Wiener. No, his name's Dave.
Yeah, let's just use Dave.
Okay. Love the show. Found it while searching for funny sovereign citizen stories and got hooked right away. That was a long time ago we did that one.
This is a Tom guy. This is a guy here for Tom topic.
Yeah. So a cool, funny, smart guy. I have a problem I hope you can solve. My lovely wife is going to turn 35 in a couple of months and requested a surprise party. I told her that's not how it works, but she still wants one and whatever, she's worth celebrating. The problem is I've never planned a party, never mind a surprise one, and otherwise have zero organization and logistics skills. I need to collaborate with her friends and get her out of the house for a bit without her catching up. Excuse me, how do I go about this without screwing it up? Many thanks, Dave. P.S. You should do a live show again. I'm near Philadelphia and would gladly make the trip to a show in New York.
All right. Number one, Dave. Mm-hmm. It can work that way.
I get the impression that it's like she requested a surprise party because she didn't want to have to help plan her own party.
Right.
And if it wasn't a surprise party, she would at some point either be asked to help or would see Dave either not doing something or doing something wrong and be like, all right, I got to step in so this isn't screwed up.
Number one, to throw her off the trail.
Yeah. Don't have it for like a few years.
No. If it's late, you're fucked.
But wouldn't that be a surprise?
It would be, but every year there's a new birthday, Tom.
Yeah. So do it early?
Do it early.
Yeah, as early as possible.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, if you can.
If you can do it tomorrow.
That's ideal. Or today if it's early enough.
But also, there needs to... So you said it's in a couple months, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So do it like a month in advance.
It's in a couple of months and they sent this email.
No, April 2nd.
Yeah, almost 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So he's got... So do it, do it as early as possible. But this opens you up for... Do you not know when my birthday is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you throwing me a surprise party like 6 weeks before my birthday, right?
I think he could probably convince his wife that he knows her birthday.
Yeah, well, this is what you do. You have a big banner that says, I know your birthday is, and have her correct birthday there.
But
at the birthday party.
But I'm doing this so that you're genuinely surprised.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, you can't just tell her that, because she could be like,
yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, he got a whole banner printed up about it.
That's too big of a banner for him to have even been able to print at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Presumably she knows about your print at home capabilities.
I would hope so.
Yeah. And you know what? If you're listening to this and you're going, that's great, guys, but I got this big fucking banner printer at my home.
Well, then you're going to need a bigger
You're going to need a bigger,
yeah.
It needs to be something that she knows you do not have the capability to print on. A tarp?
Yeah, maybe
a
whole
billboard?
fucking tarp. Maybe one of those things that gets unfurled from the top of a skyscraper.
Yeah, I think that's a tarp. Usually. Yeah. So your thing is just do it early, but then have backup proof for when she accuses you of not knowing her birthday.
Yeah. And then also I got to communicate with her friends to get her out of the house. No, don't do it at your house.
I think it's
Dave.
Get her out of the house to come to wherever the surprise party is.
Okay.
Maybe. Or it could be that.
Yeah. I mean, you ever go somewhere with your wife?
Yeah.
Just say you're going to that.
No, I think, he has to get her out of the house or he has to or the friends. I need to collaborate with her friends and get her out of the house for a bit without her catching on.
Yeah.
For a bit. So I guess that he is going to do it at his house.
Yeah, don't do it at your house.
Yeah. Or do it
at a tall building. They can unfurl that banner that says, I know your birthday is actually,
Yeah.
May 31st or whatever.
I think if she has like decent friends, if you reach out to them and ask, like,
no need, just do it somewhere else.
I think, I mean, doing it somewhere else and adds another complication that maybe he's trying not to add, and
like
that's
what?
why
Too easy to
booking another venue or something like that, but he wants to do it at the house.
Well, he shouldn't want to do it at the house. That's stupid. There's too many loose ends. You're gonna get caught.
Yeah, but I feel like on TV shows, like surprise parties always happen at a house.
Yeah, but not this one.
Yeah,
this one happens at a tall building.
I've only done surprise parties at like restaurants where it's been a surprise that like, oh, I was led to believe I was having like, lunch with 2 people, but no, it turns out there's like 50 people here. I know.
I get so nervous when I'm part of a surprise party.
Oh, me too. Like I
hate it so much. I almost am like, I want to show up like 2 hours late.
Yeah, because
so like, so I'm not that jackass who got the time wrong.
Yeah,
and just walking up the front walk at the same time is.
Yeah, and I get like too anxious about other people. Like, what do you just like? Yeah. No, why'd you go to the bar to get a drink right now? Like they're about to come in. Like that kind of stuff.
I also think surprises in all, like any kind of surprise at all, is bad.
Well, but his wife wants a surprise.
I know, but I don't think she really does.
But
teach her a lesson, Dave, and make it so fucking surprising. Like, so don't do it at your house. Do it nowhere near her birthday, but acknowledge that it's her birthday. Hit her in the face with a pie when she walks in the door.
Yeah,
that's surprising, right?
Yeah. And then go, don't worry. And you got a seltzer bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
To wash it all off with.
And then say, still want a fucking surprise party?
I mean, at that point, it's too late. Also, maybe not the nicest way to treat your wife on 6 weeks before her birthday. Before her actual birthday.
You'll buy her a gift, too.
It sounds like the surprise part really isn't that big of a deal. I think he has to get her out of the house. Tell your friends you need to get her out of the house, and they'll come up with something. They'll say, like, oh, well...
Maybe her friends suck. Maybe they won't.
I know. Well, yeah, maybe they do. We don't have all this information.
I know. That's why I'm saying, like, don't rely on them.
Yeah. From now on, if you're going to mail in a request, you got to let us know if your wife's friends suck.
Send pictures of them, too.
Yeah, and then so we can get like a vibe off them. Yeah. Husbands, too.
Happy birthday, Dave's wife.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Tom. I think like she doesn't really care about the surprise party. That's just a way to be like, well, I can't be involved because it's a surprise.
Yeah. And as far as
she's gonna presumably be eating bonbons while you do all this work.
Well, and he asked about like how
and I assume you're the breadwinner.
How do you assume every married couple's in a Bundy family situation?
Yeah, exactly.
I think, yeah, as far as planning a party, if it's a party at your house, you just need drinks and food. That's it. Drinks and food and like napkins and paper plates or whatever.
And, celebrity impersonators.
I mean, if you got a celebrity impersonator, that'd be great.
Yeah, but do it at a different location.
Yeah, there are a lot of hardworking Austin Powers impersonators out there that aren't, they're not getting the demand that they used to. You could probably really haggle one down for a good price.
Yeah, and also, like, let them know they can be in on it and be like, yeah, baby, I know your birthday is May 31st.
Oh, behave. Yeah, they can. I mean, I think everybody at the party can be in on it.
Yeah.
They'll see the banner.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us, thecompleteguideeverything@gmail.com. You can find out more about the show at tcgte.com. There you can find links to our social media, our Reddit, our Discord, and much more, including our Patreon. Patreon.com/completeguide, where you get New bonus episodes every week.
It feels like you're saying the beginning part of the sentences real enthusiastically and then forgetting what the second half.
If you've been listening to this episode and you've gone, oh, it's already over, I want to hear more about popes. Well, boy, do we have news for you. This week's Patreon episode is Amazing Facts, Popes Edition.
Yeah.
Me and Tim are going to compete. Who has the most amazing fact relating to popes? Unless we both happen to have like the same facts.
Yeah.
Which is, a strong possibility.
Yeah.
There's only so many facts about popes.
There's only so many popes.
Yeah. Only
For
so
now.
many facts. There's about to be one more.
Yeah.
The papacy is about to grow by one.
This prayer of St. Francis is actually quite nice, Tom. It's the prayer for peace.
Oh, are you going to close out the podcast by reading
I
a prayer?
looked it up. It's just it's nice. Yeah, maybe we should end with a prayer.
For people that don't know, Tim's been pushing for years that every episode should end with a prayer. And I've said to him, fine, if you can find a natural way to bring it into the show. And boy, he did it.
I finally, after 15 years.
I told you Pope Francis is a nice guy, and you were all like, well, we don't know.
Well, I don't want to get an email being like, oh, actually, he was real, like
Yeah.
Tom, neither of us know anything about this Pope. So it'd be like, what a great man.
You knew he was a bouncer.
Yeah, because I was looking up for amazing facts.
Oh, all right. Well, still, you knew that.
Spoiler alert. That's going to be one of the facts.
You can hear that and more at patreon.com/complete guide. Yeah. I would love, make it not a cardinal. Do a wild card. Do a King Ralph situation. Get somebody that being Pope's not even on the radar for them. Mm-hmm. Or just like make a random priest Pope. Make it.
Make a bird the Pope.
It has to be a guy. Has to be a male human. Under 80. Nope. You just have to be under 80 to vote.
Right.
If you're over 80, do you still get locked in the conclave, I wonder?
I think so.
Yeah, that sucks.
That guy fucking loves it.
Yeah, he's probably like, life on easy street for me. I don't even have to vote. It's a secret vote, by the way. They write it down and put it in one of the big Pope hats, and they count it.
Yeah, well, good luck to all the candidates out there for Pope.
Yeah. And hey, if you're a cardinal, remember our names.
Tim and Tom.
See you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.